Has been over to the shed and checked for the deceased rodents. Ended up catching 2. I think I should buy another one of those glue traps by the look of it. It's Saturday. Yesterday there was 75 millimetres of rain. Today there's been about 83 millimetres so far. It's only 10 AM. And there's the 10-day forecast. I think we're going to get some more. We're looking at the west end. As you can see, they've got the metal on the west end and the south end, but obviously not on the north end yet. So a lot of that rain has gone into that house. What a mess that must be. So you really have to question the wisdom of doing this work during peak wet season. Seems a bit silly. So it looks like they've got the back section of that house done, apart from putting the roof on it. They're actually using bamboo framing for. And they've got the front porch on. So looks like we're doing finishing work on the rendering on the front. And these guys are perched up in the sky. What's that? That's got to be probably 8 metres high. I'd hurt if I came down off that. Jabida succeeded in snapping her Bluetooth headset this morning. You can actually see the brake if the camera decides to refocus. You can see the brake right where that white mark is there. The internal wiring is still okay, but overall, focus your mongrel. Overall it's a bit sort of floppy. So I figure, okay, well I can super glue that and give it some reinforcement. So I've got these 2 little bits of polycarbonate that I've cut from a scrap of polycarbonate sheeting and heated them up with the gas bottle, put a bit of curve in them and super glue. So I'm going to have a go at repairing this. If all else fails, I actually have another one of these headsets that I use, well, nominally use myself, but I don't actually use it. So I can sacrifice that to Jabida if necessary. But I'll have a go at fixing this one. I got the first strip on and clamped down and glued. Or glued and clamped down. Not sure how well this is going to work. Had trouble with the glue bottle because of course the tip is gummed up, so I had to screw off the entire top and dip in there with the cable tie and get a little bit out. So we'll see. Meantime, that's my puddle of sweat. Although my trousers look like I wet myself because I was dripping on my crotch. 29.5, 91% humidity outside, 29.3 and 81% humidity in here. So yeah, it feels like it'll be about 40 something. Well, I got the second bit on now, but the first bit's not too well centred between the edges, so I'm going to have to do a bit of fettling with my little die grinder thing. But yeah, I'm not convinced that this is going to be a goer. I suspect that Jabida's going to complain that her hair gets caught in it. So we'll see how we go. Well, I've applied more glue. Yeah, it's what, 11:01 now. I'll come back after lunch, having given that plenty of time to dry, and then see what I can do to clean it up and see if it's actually got any physical strength. Old Dadding's just come and emptied one of the drums into the tank, and the fuel gauge hasn't moved, so that appears to be stuck. Maybe after it's run next, the vibration will set that free. We'll see. Well, the end result's not beautiful, but it's better than throwing away $60 or $70. So I'll see what Jabida says. I might have to swap her and take this one myself. And I've just put down a fresh glue trap that Jabida brought back from Panabang. This one actually has baits in it apparently. but yeah, got to. So we'll see how we go with this one. I think the other one is slightly bigger, but still sticky. It's Monday the 20th. This morning we exceeded the average annual rainfall of the farm where I grew up, and this is the 20th day of the year. So yeah, much wetter here than where I grew up. I forgot to take any video of that roof yesterday, Sunday, but I don't want to get out in the rain here. But we can see they've got the ridge cap on the southwest corner, not yet on the northwest corner. They've got the roof on the balcony on the north side. So at least I won't be getting rain inside anymore. So Jabito assures me that it was okay inside, even if, with the hundreds of millimetres of rain that had fallen inside. I'm not convinced, but okay. But yeah, it's very wet here again. Don't think I'll be going across to the shed anytime soon. So I think I'll just go back inside and eat some fruit. It's Tuesday morning. It's a while since I've shown the rice at the back of the shed here. It's coming up in head, so it can't be that far off harvest. Amazing how fast that grows. But lots and lots of water. As you can see, it's standing in water again because it's rained and rained and rained. There's flooding between here and Panambang. Yeah, but it's nice and sunny today, so I was thinking, given that the house and shed battery levels were both down around 40 something % this morning, that I might end up with the genset running, because what will happen is the house will start importing power from the shed and pull the charge there down, and if it pulls it down to 25%, the genset will start. But there's enough sunshine at the moment that even if the house starts importing from the shed will still be making ground on the charge, because it's got much more than 5 kilowatts coming in. So may not end up running the genset at all today. Just depends on the forecast and what actually happens. Things can change to wet, wet, wet here very quickly. Now, I think I've got the Jabito persuaded that the guys should not come here and work on painting this roof immediately they finish Nando's roof. They should probably come back in May, when they can get paint on there and rely on it not getting rained off. Currently, I'm fairly confident that you'd put a coat of paint on there and it'd get washed off by rain before it dries. I got the roof on the back of that house now. I'm told it's finished. They're not going to render this side here. Probably money they don't want to spend. This pile outside the back of the rice factory seems to grow fairly quickly. But they run late into the night at times, and they bag that stuff up, sell it off, presumably for burning, for firing bricks. But I think it should also be good organic material to mix into a garden. Aerate the soil, provide a bit of organic matter. The Jabito's geese are fairly vocal. Provider seemed satisfied with her repaired headset, so that's a win. And because it was nice and sunny, I thought, okay, I can put on the bread mixer without causing a genset start. So we're going to use some of our remaining bread mix from Australia. Of course, it's long out of date, but still good stuff. And I keep it in the fridge to prolong its life. So you can see there on the top shelf we've got 2, 6, 10 packets left. And there we go, my bread still has 2 hours and 19 minutes to go, and the solar input has dropped from 11 kilowatts to less than half a kilowatt. So I may have miscalculated. It's Wednesday afternoon, about 2 o'clock. 62 millimetres of rain yesterday. We've already had just over 33 millimetres of rain today, and I think I can hear more on the roof behind me. Still fairly bright though, so we're actually getting fairly good charging of the batteries. Like the house is importing from the shed, and the shed's keeping up with that import fairly well. So we may not have to have a genset run today. We had one yesterday afternoon, which is one of those where the genset ran for over an hour and then stopped. I went over and looked, and yes, it was a oil pressure fault. So I pressed the stop button and pressed the auto button, and after about 2 minutes it started up, ran for about a minute and then shut down. I thought, okay. So I was just walking around from that end of the building. I was going to go around and go in the back door there, and the genset started up again. I thought, oh, okay. So I let it run, and it got to the point of having 57% charge. Now it's supposed to shut down the genset when it gets to 55% charge. So okay. So I went back inside again, and I pressed the genset button on the Selectronic, and that stopped the charging, and after 2 minutes the genset shut down. So yeah. But while I was there at one point, I actually recorded some of the oil pressure readings. I'll put that clip in now. It makes me think there's an issue either with the oil pressure sensor, or the control system is supposed to smooth that reading a lot more, and if it had jumped to too low a value, that might have triggered the shutdown. So we're going to convey that information to the vendor and see what they make of it. But here's the 30 seconds of oil pressure readings. I suspect those oil pressure readings are not supposed to be jumping around like that. Seems a bit odd to me, but we'll find out. I don't know if you can make them out flitting around, but with all this rain comes out the dragonflies. We're on our way home after a road trip to Paniglang to do some more government paperwork. About 60 kilometres. Google Maps says about an hour and a half, and Google Maps is always optimistic. So we'll just stop for fuel. Fuel prices are not outrageous. What's that? $1.25 litre. What I was going to do was point out the quickie marts that are ubiquitous in Indonesia. They have Indomaret, Alphamart and Alphamidi. and there seems to be thousands of them, and they're frequently in close proximity, which, if my calculations are worked out, I might be able to show you shortly. Here we go. On the left we have Alpha right, on the right we have Indo-Maret. It's not unknown for them to be next door to one another on the same side of the road. It's Friday, and this crop at the back of the shed is looking like it's progressing pretty damn well. Water level's gone down a bit. Evaporation rate around here is pretty fast. I only had 4.6 mils of rain yesterday, and 33.3 the day before. So I've worked out that the average this month is just over an inch a day. That's wet. Anyway, inside the shed now. While we were on that road trip yesterday to Pandaglang, a couple of items that I'd ordered on Shopee came in. First one being this patio cleaner attachment. That's obviously for the Bosch pressure washer, to try and get rid of some of that green slime on the concrete in an easier manner. So I'll give that a whirl later. The other one was the 1/4 inch ratchet. This socket set I bought 45 years ago. About sometime within the last 10 years, the original ratchet gave up. You'd be turning and clunk, 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 clunk. So, okay, so I replaced it with this one. This one has now started doing the same. So, okay, no big deal. Done. This one can get thrown out. Sadly. But, oh well. Apparently a consumable. There's lots of lovely green slime there for me to tackle later. But for now, just going to go and put together what video I've got and do an upload. It's Friday after all. And the other thing I'm going to do is take back one of these baits, the one that's unused, and set up that in the roof space over here at the house, because I've heard rodents running around recently at night, and it's not a good thing because they do chew cables. I've had to replace one CCTV cable already. Fortunately I have replacements. I think I've got 1 or 2 more. But yeah, Friday, upload time.